It's finally hair cutting day today. I haven't cut my hair for almost 1.5 years, which is bad. So I've made time for it today, and hopefully I can get it finished while Scarlett's asleep, or at least before I have to go pick the Angus up from school. Bye bye hair. Good morning, chickies. These three majestic boys. They're always first to the door at ya. Basil and his two young sidekicks. Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. I just keep giving myself a fright looking at my hair. I didn't mean to cut my layers quite this short, but well, it was just getting really annoying because my hair is quite thick, so it gets really heavy, and I don't usually let it get that long because I get headaches and a sore neck and stuff. So I knew I was cutting a lot of hair off, but I was just every chunk that came off I was like, yay, less weight on my hair. So I am enjoying having a lot less weight for my head to carry around. Anyway, we've got a lot to catch up on around here. After being sick, we've got to get back to getting back into the routine of cooking dinners, and we need to get the house cleaned a lot. So we used a lot of freezer meals. We've hardly got any bits and pieces of food left in the freezer for meals. So I need to do a lot of bulk cooking to try and get some more into the freezer. So I'm going to be making some bulk lasagnas in the next week sometime, but first I'm making some beef bone broth, so I've just started that today. So first I'm simmering the bones to get rid of all the scummy stuff. Actually, it's not just beef and lamb bones, a mixture of marrow bones and meaty bones. And after I've simmered the bones, I will roast them. So I started cutting my own hair when I was 15, which is not what most 15-year-olds do, but I've always had that independent kind of nature. And not always with the best results, but I learnt to eventually find videos on YouTube of how to cut my hair in different ways that I like, so that helped a lot. And I don't know how much it costs for women's haircuts these days, but I guess it's definitely saved me thousands of dollars over the years, and if I don't like my hair, I've only got myself to blame. So, and I can always tweak it if I want to. So even though it takes me quite a while to cut it, it's not that easy trying to do your own hair. I would definitely rather do it myself than go pay to get it done. It just takes a while for me to get around to cutting it sometimes. So the bones have simmered for about 15 or 20 minutes, and that's all the scum that we're going to tip off. It's just all the coagulated blood and other bits and pieces that is not going to end up in our broth now. I drained and rinsed the bones, and now they're going into the oven at 225 degrees Celsius to roast, and I'll add the veggies in with them in a little bit so they don't get too burnt. So the bones have had about half an hour in the oven, and now I've turned them and added in chopped veggies, onions, carrots, celery and garlic, and I'm going to roast those for another 15-ish minutes. Now that everything smells all amazingly roasty toasty, I'm going to put them back into the pots that I've washed out. with a few spices. Use a little bit of hot water in the pan to get out all the juices and nice brown bits, because that's all good flavouring. I don't like to add too many spices to the beef bone broth, so I'm just going to add a couple of bay leaves in each pot and a few peppercorns. Not measuring, just a few. And now I'm going to cover the bones with water and then bring the pots to the boil. While I've got the oven on, I'm going to roast a chicken for tonight's dinner. It's been defrosting, and also I'm just going to reuse this pan that's just been in the oven with the bones and things. So I'm making up a little spice mix for the chicken. I don't normally measure things, and I just do what I feel like at the time, but it generally includes salt and pepper, onion powder and garlic powder, and then the other things change around a little bit. So this one's also got some mustard powder, smoked paprika, bit of celery seed, and some dried dill, since we haven't got that many different herbs at the moment, thanks to the herb garden, but we're rectifying that. So I'm just going to mix that up and then add in a little bit of oil and rub it over the chicken. This has got some black pepper and some white pepper to add a little bit more spiciness. I just mixed in a little bit of olive oil since I didn't have any nice animal fat melted and ready to go. And now I'm going to, I think I'll spatchcock the chicken and then rub this over with the pastry brush. Might actually be easier just to rub it over with my hands. chicken is ready to go in the oven. I'll probably do some veggies later. I decided to just get some veggies into the oven while the chicken's cooking. I usually like to do the roast veggies at a bit of a higher temperature, but the kumara and pumpkin or Chuck's winter squash will be okay, so getting a tray of that in there, and then I'll do some potatoes and we'll see what we can fit in later on. And now I'm going to sit down for a rest and some lunch while Scarlett's still asleep because I need a rest. The chicken is coming along nicely, the veggies, and the bone broth is simmering. Everything smells very nice and I'm hungry. Roasted chicken is nicely cooked. And almost overcooked the pumpkin and kumara, but they're okay. So the chicken's going into the fridge for later, now that it's cooled down a bit, and there's some lovely chicken fat in the pan for the potatoes, which works out perfectly. The potatoes are going into the oven now. These are the last of our homegrown agria potatoes, so they'll be nice. Unfortunately, there will be no more until next season. But I've put some rosemary in from our garden, from the stuff that I pruned the other day. Some salt and pepper, garlic powder and onion powder, and the lovely roast chicken gravy that they're in. So the last instalment for dinner today, and hopefully food making, is in for the oven, cauliflower and broccoli. I was going to steam them, but since the oven's still on and I've got a tray I can reuse, I'm just going to bake them and then we'll be done. So we've got the potatoes under here, they're all done. And this should be enough dinner for 2 nights. Yes! And then hopefully I can go in the garden. Dinner is done! Yay. Oh, we found all Mummy's cool rocks. Oh, leave it there. Mummy has been finding cool rocks. Yes, very cool rocks. I was just thinking it would be so nice to have some flagstone or slate or something to put in front of where the bench set's going to go in the herb garden. And I was like, oh, I don't have a ready supply and it's really expensive. And then I realised I had a bunch of slate sitting by our front door. It was just still getting covered in leaves and stuff. Slate rocks that I've picked up from various places in the South Island, which are very nice. So I'm just figuring out where to put them. Really should get the bench set made first, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm not the only one who's interested in them. Scarlett, off we go. Right, we're back to weeding in the front plot. We did pretty much most of that row last week, and now we've got to finish this row, which has got a bunch of volunteer brassicas down here and parsley. Yep. Are you eating kale again? You can eat some kale. Angus is cutting the grass with hedge clippers. Steve hasn't got to mow the lawn for a while, so it's actually not too bad because it's been cold. Munchy, munchy, munchy. What are you eating? Is it kale? What have you found? You like poking around in the garden, don't you? Get in my face. Oh, here comes the Angus Express. Hello. We got 2 Calosauruses now.
Yeah.
I asked Angus if he'd come to help with the weeding, and he said he'd come to help with the eating. Well, maybe you can weed while you eat. Hey? Everything's green. You guys are all green. What have you got, Scarlett? Is it a stick? Stick. Okay, I'm making progress. Scarlett is... What are you putting? Spit it out. Oh dear. Keep an eye on this one. It was a stone. And this one's just whacking things. Just a little bit of weeding time makes the difference. And we're going to go get cleaned up now and heat dinner up. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Choose to grow hope, and we'll see you next time. Bye.